Our coverage of the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup continues from the Texas Motor Speedway. It's the Dickies 500, where we have just over 100 laps to go. And Columbia, Missouri's Carl Edwards in that 99 car is dominating. He's leading now by 8 seconds over the second place driver, and Carl has led 167 of the 230 laps that we have completed so far. Here's a look at our sprint race rundown. It's pretty much been Carl early and Carl often.
Oh, Carl all the way along here. He just passed Clint Boyer early in the race, gets around him, and man, I tell you, ever since then, he has checked out and been gone.
He has been absolutely outstanding and dominant all day long, and we see him coming up on the points leader, Jimmie Johnson, putting him a lap down. Jimmy's really struggled today, but seems to have found his mojo is getting back into the top 20, but Carl Edwards is strong.
So Carl going to lead the most laps in this race, collect an additional 5 points toward the championship. If you're new to NASCAR, a driver who leads a lap during the race gets 5 additional points in his payout at the end of the day, and the driver who leads the most laps gets an additional 5 points at the end of the day. So Carl Edwards out in front and stomping the field. Jimmie Johnson back in 20th place, 1 lap down, and the biggest problem for Johnson right now, besides the fact that laps are running out, is that this 99 car is so fast, he's putting more cars a lap down, and those are more drivers Johnson's going to have to get past somehow through some strategy, some luck, or something, Rusty, if he's going to have any shot at getting back on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think Johnson's going to pick some spots up, but just like you said, Alan, he's in trouble right now because he just, Mark Martin's on the lead lap, the first guy lap down in charge to get the lucky dog, and Dale Jr., Stewart, Gordon. There's a lot of good teams he's got to pass, and it's not looking good for Johnson right now. And, I tell you, the 48 car is getting run down by that 99. He's only 91 points behind right now. Carl Edwards is to Johnson. So tough day for Johnson so far. But he's got time to make it up, Brad.
Yeah, he
not
does.
a lot, though.
He does. Not a lot. Yeah, we're getting ready to drop below that 100-lap mark, which is a 100-lap sprint to the end. Jimmie Johnson, looks like it's one day that we've been talking about them having. This may be his mulligan day, that they just have to take the best finishes possible.
I say it a lot.
It ain't over.
If you watch these things a lot, I say it a lot. There's a long way to go, and a lot of things can happen.
Oh, yeah, the racetrack is going through. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm looking out right now. This racetrack now is starting to go through its transition. A lot of shade in turn 1 and 2. And another 20 minutes from right now, this track's going to be completely different. Yep. I think you're going to see the speeds different. A lot of different things are going to happen.
So race 8 in the chase right now, not being the best for Jimmie Johnson, Doc, DJ, and Andy, but Carl Edwards, boy, he's got it on go.
And Alan, Carl has been up on that wheel since the beginning of the race, and Dale, we were just talking a moment ago in commercial as he goes by the 31 car, and now only 12 cars on the lead lap. This is a very physically demanding racetrack, and they've been under green for quite a while.
Yeah, tough racing here because you have to fight these race cars. You're running high speeds and fighting these. So you can see Carl work the steering wheel right there. Well, the rest of these drivers are having to do that. Their cars are driving worse than his, so they're having to work harder. A lot of green flag racing. Physical conditioning could come into play before the end of this race.
And that always seems to play to Carl Edwards and Jimmie Johnson. And Jimmie, now I know that they're putting a lot of cars down a lap, and that can work against that 48 team getting the lucky dog. But the more cars they put down a lap, if the caution does come out, they'll be able to race their way past those cars. That's more spots that'll be available for them to gain.
Here's David Rudiman having his best run of the year by far, in second position, although he's about 9 seconds back. Dave.
We'll talk to his crew chief, Ryan Pemberton. Ryan, how good is the race car right now, and anything left of that mystery problem he was talking about earlier?
Well, I think the track's just going away a little bit. I don't think there's any real problem, and I think that there might have been a little oil on the racetrack. I heard a lot of people complaining about it. We were sideways coming off the corner, but he was still running fast, so we left him out there for a while. See if they can come back around for us.
Have anything for the 99?
I don't know if anybody does, but if anybody does, David does.
All right, and he's hoping that his guy will be physically fit as these green flag runs continue, guys.
His career best finish is 9th twice, including a run at Richmond this year where he led the most laps in the race, but faded late and having just an outstanding run. What does this mean to this whole organization to be able to know the 44 car, but the whole Michael Waltrip organization to have the cars running this well now?
I think the biggest thing is that hey, we're getting our program to the point that we can race these guys. It wasn't like that, and this is, again, we're only in the second year of this organization. They're building new race cars. They've changed some people around. Things are really going in a good direction for them.
You know what would mean more to this team than running well like they are right now is to pass one more car before the end of this race. Nothing would change their life like winning a race would. And they're close, real close.
Jamie McMurray back in third position again, having another great run on a 1.5 mile track. Jamie, we mentioned, had finished 5th at Charlotte, 7th at Atlanta. And now caution for debris on the racetrack. We're being told it's on the back straightaway. And Rodney Wise, Rick Monroe on the flag stand waving that yellow flag.
Unfortunate break for Bobby Labonte, who's sitting on pit road right now. He just came down to get his car serviced, and he's headed back out.
The 31 car got the free pass, and that was a break for Jeff Burton because, and for Martin Truex, it was about to be put a lap down.
That'll put 13 cars on the lead lap. So like I said, Johnson, if he can get off pit road, make up some spots, he can race his way all the way up to 13th without getting that lucky dog. And then maybe get himself in position to get it back.
Yeah, that's a good point, Andy. Him putting, or these other cars being put a lap down by Carl Edwards was a good thing for Jimmy Johnson, because now he can make up some spots. He only had a few while ago that he could make up, but that was a great point there, that he will be able to gain some of those points back if he has the car to do it.
And some of those other cars a lap down are teammates. Jeff Gordon's a lap down, Earnhardt Jr. is a lap down, and future teammate Mark Martin is a lap down.
Whoa, look at Ruderman coming off that racetrack, laid black marks, trying to get down there. He's trying to make up some of that space. Dave?
First and second place on pit road, of course, for Carl Edwards. His car just a little loose on that run. They'll make a wedge adjustment and 4-tire change. David Ruderman's car just a little bit loose. They will add air to the right front tire. 4 tires and Sunoco fuel for him as well. Jamie?
Been just a little loose for the 18 at Kyle Busch. They made track bar adjustments all day. They're going to try something different and go for a little wedge adjustment. 4 tires and fuel for the 18 tonight.
Carl Edwards pulling out. You see the race down there between the 44 and the 18.
Yeah, looks like Kyle Busch is going to gain a spot right here.
Biffle trying to get out there with McMurray. They're side by side. McMurray will get the spot. He still loses 1 position.
And there goes Matt Kenseth. That 17 team gets 2 more spots on pit road.
And those guys do it week in and week out. There's Casey Mears in the 5 car having a nice run.
Carl Edwards has dominated the day here at Texas Motor Speedway. 3 times he's led for 177 laps. Remember the history? The guy who wins at Atlanta the last 3 years comes and wins at Texas. It may be holding true because 1 week ago it was Carl Edwards that got it done at Atlanta Motor Speedway.